Today, I'm testing the one thing that silently destroys your car's suspension, and most drivers do it every single day without realizing it. This habit bends metal, blows out shocks, wrecks alignment, and drains your wallet faster than almost anything else on your car. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to avoid it. Your suspension is basically the backbone of your car. It keeps you stable, comfortable, and in control. Shocks, struts, control arms, ball joints, bushings, all of these parts are constantly working together to keep your ride smooth and safe. And here's the thing, suspension and steering repairs are consistently ranked among the most common and most expensive fixes drivers face every year. Think back to the last time you hit a pothole or a speed bump faster than you meant to. Maybe the car jolted for a second. Maybe it felt normal. So you shrugged it off. But just because the car drove normally afterward doesn't mean everything was okay. Most drivers have no idea what they're actually doing to their suspension over time, and the damage almost always starts long before you ever notice a problem. So let's break it down. The biggest suspension killer isn't some complicated mechanical failure. It's simply driving too fast over road imperfections. That includes potholes, dips, broken asphalt, raised manholes, speed bumps, and even small cracks that you hit aggressively every day without thinking about it. Modern suspensions are designed to absorb impacts, so the damage gets masked at first. And because nothing breaks immediately, drivers assume everything's fine. But the damage is gradual and it builds up. Just because the car still drives straight doesn't mean it's healthy. Here's what actually happens when you hit a pothole or a bump too fast. Your suspension compresses harder than it's designed to. The shock or strut bottoms out. The bump stop gets slammed, and all that force goes straight into the rest of your suspension components. Your struts and shocks are the first to suffer. Their internal seals can get damaged from repeated harsh compression, leading to leaking, weak damping, and a bouncy or unstable ride. Control arms and ball joints can get bent or stressed, eventually loosening or cracking. Bushings start deteriorating faster, which causes clunking noises, vibrations, and alignment issues. Even your tie rods and steering linkage can get knocked out of spec from a single hit, causing the car to pull to one side and wear your tires unevenly. And wheel bearings? Sudden vertical impacts shorten their lifespan dramatically. So what are the signs that this kind of damage is happening? If you're feeling vibrations in the steering wheel, hearing clunks or knocks over bumps, noticing uneven tire wear, experiencing nose diving when braking, seeing fluid leaking near your wheel wells, or if the car pulls to one side, those are all red flags. Most drivers ignore these early warnings, and by the time they take the car in, the problem has already spread to multiple components. Ignoring suspension damage doesn't just make your ride uncomfortable. It can lead to dangerous handling, reduced braking effectiveness, and more expensive repairs. Worn-out shocks can ruin your tires. Bent control arms can affect steering safety. Misalignment can destroy rubber in a matter of months. And if you plan to sell your car later, all this hidden damage will tank the value when it's inspected. Here's the key takeaway. Your suspension is designed for comfort and control, not for repeated violent impacts. Automotive technicians see this all the time. Cars coming in with leaking struts, cracked bushings, bent arms, and destroyed alignment, all because of everyday bumps and potholes the driver didn't think twice about. The damage is invisible at first, but it's cumulative. It gets worse with every hit. And the worst part? It's completely avoidable. So what can you do? Pay attention to the signs. Slow down over rough roads. Don't hit potholes head-on if you can safely avoid them. And if your car starts making new noises or pulling to one side, don't assume it's nothing. So get it checked before it becomes a bigger problem. Slowing down can literally save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars in repairs. The #1 suspension killer is simple: hitting potholes and speed bumps too fast. Let me know in the comments, what's the worst suspension damage you've ever had? And if you want to avoid expensive repairs, check out my next video where I break down the hidden signs your suspension is failing. You definitely don't want to miss those.